One more time. Welcome, Rise and Shine. Welcome, Grand Rising, Halito, to all of my family out there. Lanyell, up in the morning, up in the morning. Lanyell in the house, 5813 is the very first to be in the chat. Peace and blessings. This is your morning self motivation from Chief Peanut Nola 504. And I just want you guys to, for those who just waking up, you got your coffee, you got your tea, whatever you like. Whatever you like. And as you get up this morning, always remember that there are somebody that's doing a little bit better than you. That's just not living right. That's going through so many circumstances. They're having hardship with financial problems, all kinds of difficulties. Somebody don't have a man. Somebody don't have a woman. Somebody is going through some deep shit. And I want people to understand that. So as you know, today's topic is just about doing for self. Because that's sometimes we got a thing that we need people. And I want you guys, you need you before you need somebody else. Once you understand how much you need you will begin to love other people. And I think that's what happens. We begin to live a life of pleasing others. But we don't please ourselves. Yes, I'm grateful for everything in my life. And you should be. Because I want people to understand that you're going to go through difficulties in your life. Being a human, you're going to go through the ebb and flows of the life. Being human means you're going to have the ups and downs, the ebb and flows of your life. Because that's just being human. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't be afraid to be aggressive in trying to be better. Because sometimes we got to start all over from the beginning. It doesn't matter. Motivate yourself. We have a lot of men and women who suffering with weight problems, and they don't know how to lose weight, and they think it's all about eating, but it has nothing to do with eating. Because I want you guys to understand that most people who are overweight are depressed. Most people who are overweight are depressed. And I'm not talking about people with self-confidence, because they got some overweight people who have a lot of confidence. But most people who give up in life are depressed. And we don't see it. You know, I was looking at, when you see that young lady, Lizzo, and you think that Lizzo is happy, it reminds me of Monique. For those who don't remember when Monique used to go around and talking about fat, fat is the right way to be, and she's beautiful who she is. She love herself. But soon as she had an opportunity to get to get the surgery, she got the surgery. It was never about that. And right now, Monique still suffers with not loving herself. And I want people to understand that this is not a bash on people who have weight issues. But you have to understand that we suffer in a community with obesity problems. Our people are not living a very long life. And sometimes when you care, if you truly care about your people, you will encourage them to do better, not worse in their life, but you will encourage them to do better. They got skinny, unhealthy people. People think that because people are skinny that they're healthy. And you found that out by the life coach, the brother that died, that he wasn't all that healthy because of him being fit. You can be fit on the outside, but in the inside, you're unhealthy. Just because you see somebody that don't suffer with weight problems does not mean that they're not fit. That don't mean that they fit. That doesn't mean that they're healthy. You got a lot of men and women who are dying from heart attacks, who are suffering from heart attacks, strokes, because they want to do what they want to do with their own bodies. They want to eat the way they want to eat. And they don't, you can't expect longevity. If we can't take criticism, constructive criticism from our own people, we will never be able to we'll never change. There's flaws about me that I want to get better with me. There are some things in my life that I have to change about me. I'm a brother who's been battling type 2 diabetes. And just because I look fit doesn't mean that I'm 100% healthy. Because I chose a lifestyle of eating all kinds of bullshit. But now I have changed, and now I am reversing the things that I messed up on. And you have to understand, in order to make changes in your life, you got to admit some of the wrongs that you have done. In order to make changes in your life, you cannot be delusional. You can't make excuses. And we make excuses in our life why we can't be great. We make excuses in our life on why we cannot be our best self. Your ancestors, your bloodline was great. You just got to tap down into where you come from. You know, I was talking on TikTok and I was telling people that about Pangea. And there's a lot of people who don't believe in the theory of Pangea. But yet they can believe that the Mongoloids came from a land bridge and walked here from Asia, from Siberia, Asia. They tell you that 100,000 people came here on ships without proof that we came on ships. They tell you about the one ship that was in Alabama, but they don't show the people who was on that ship. They only documented one ship to come in America, but they don't show the people who was on that ship. Every time you see slave ships and they talk about people of color being on slave ships, it's always drawings and cartoon images. In a world where they can tell you Jesus, about white Jesus being black in all nations and all across the world, that the Messiah and his mother, the Black Madonna, was melanated. And then only in America he's white. What that would tell you about us being the First Nation people. White supremacy will tell you anything to keep you from learning the knowledge about you. These are the same people who gave us multiple names. We're the only nation of people with multiple names. How could you graph? I mean, just think about it. We're the only people that have been deceived multiple times of believing something that is a myth. We have been controlled by images that we see. We've been controlled by religion. But when are we going to use our own minds and do research and understand how great we truly are? What we have contributed to society that no other have. I don't think we truly understand how great we are as a nation of people. We are the inventors of the world. We are the inventors of Turtle Island. Everything that we invent, they take from us and use as their own. They do it in music. For many years in the National Football League, they didn't let a black man play quarterback because they believed that the white man was smarter. And the black man only had the ability to run and use his athletic ability to run because they believed that the slaves were bred to run. You can believe in all the things that you believe in that they told you, but you can't believe people of color was right here in America in the beginning. We all got to make sense because it's important that our young people learn the truth. We send our children to school to learn from our oppressor. And why would our oppressor tell the truth about us when they are teaching us the history about them? Our people is bigger than Black history. Our people is world history. Our people is world history. And we got to stop labeling America as a country because we inhabit Canada to South America. You guys got to open your minds and visualize things deeper than what you know. In Louisiana, they're losing 100 yards a day of marshland in Louisiana. New Orleans is almost underwater. They are below sea level. And that is a major city in America. If that can happen in a city like New Orleans? How many other cities that are underwater in this nation? See, there was a time when all lands were connected. And some people don't have to agree with me, but you can agree that the Mongoloids came across a land bridge. There are underwater cities that they're finding to this day. We were able to move a certain way. California right now has been on alert for a major earthquake that can wipe them off the map of the United States. Memphis don't build high buildings because they are embracing for a major earthquake. If these things were to happen, then America would split even more. We don't think about the way Louisiana is shaped like a boot, a puzzle, the way Florida is shaped. We think that Haiti and all the other islands like Hawaii were just they were just like that from the beginning. We don't understand that these lands were connected to America. That a lot of these islands was a part of America because you don't do your research and understand that these lands have it's more than just the story of the Bible of Noah. There's some truths and there's some lies to a lot of things. And there's some things that you can learn from even what the evil has been teaching us. There's truth in everything. There's truth in every lie that ever was told to you. Because they will give you some truth. And they'll come right behind with a bald-faced lie. You cannot tell me that all across the universe, that all the different continents is made of color, that the majority of the world is made of color, and that this continent of America is the only place on the planet that is not made of color. See, they made a movie that made most sense. Why take people from Africa and lose half of the stock when you can basically colonize each state? You can steal freemen from each state and put them on plantations as prisoners of war. Are we so gullible to believe that these people had the power to take our language from us? Are we so gullible to believe that you empowering the white man to make him believe that he's something that he's not? You made him this knock. You made him believe that he's superficial without proof. You made him believe, you got his ego believing that he took a nation of people and brought them to America without proof. Where are the people? America records everything. America records everything throughout history. When the Italians came to America, it was recorded. When the Titanic ship sunk, it was recorded. But when you talk about the slaves on slave ships, why don't you see it recorded? Shout out to Chief Crazy in the house. I'm not sure how, but 90% of the people I speak with here in Nashville won't take the chains off of their minds. Because Jim Crow was designed to change your mind. That's what Jim Crow was all about. That's what Jim Crow was all about, family. This is what classroom settings was all about, family. In military fashion. That's what it was all about. Programming. It was always about programming our people. Because our people still can't get away from the change, can't get away from the roots theory. They can't get away with it because they believe in the lies of their oppressor. If the white man say so, then it should be true. It takes a white man to debunk the Atlantic slave trade for them to believe it. Order for other people of color to believe something, to not believe in some of the BS, they need the scholars of the white man. They need the approval of the white man to debunk the bullshit that they've been giving us for many years. If the white man says so, then it's true. Like, we don't have scholars neither. And you can believe that the Messiah, supposedly the actual Jesus, that they all of these other countries are worshiping. This Jesus is black in all of these other nations. But in America, they turn him white. So you would not believe that they would do the same thing about the American Indians. They said that the Negroes during slavery ruled the Indians, the Native Americans, the $5 Indians. They said that we were the decision makers. We made the decision to help defeat the white man for conquering. We were the decision makers. But we fought side by side with the Mongoloids, and they have the nerves to try to kick us out their groups. They have the nerves to kick us out, something that they have. The word Seminole comes from a Spanish name. The word Seminole is Spanish. Has nothing to do with an Indian group. The word Seminole has nothing to do with Mongoloids. But they have the right to not have you a part of getting the funds out of the $56 million that was given from the government that are leaving black Seminoles out. How dare them? How dare them? They're making the rules around off the blood that was shed from your people. As an elder on TikTok said, he had an interview with Sinetta TV, and the elder said, he said, I'm a Cherokee and I'm gonna die a Cherokee. He said, but one of the things that you have to understand, he said, one of these things that people don't understand is, yes, he said, we had no qualms with Africans. He said, we had no qualms with Africans, but I will let you know this, that Africans come here and become doctors. Africans come here to become lawyers. Africa has a continent that belongs to them, and Africa does not recognize you a part of them. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Chris. Halito Chris Johnson in the morning, waking up with Peanut Nola 504. Excuse me, I just had to sneeze. But good morning, Halito, to you, family. I just have to come on because I know I'm not going to be able to come on. I'm driving and then I'm going to be heading home, so I know I wasn't going to be able to come. So I was going to come on early because I got to drop a load in a few. So I decided to come on and keep trying to spread awareness to our people and understanding how they deceived us. How they deceived us in many ways and written us out of our own history. This is you realize that they can't just kick you out of America. You can't be deported to Africa because you're not from Africa. You can't. They could tell you to go back to Africa, but they can't. You can't just. They can't just take you and put you off because the Africa knows you don't belong to them. See, all this has been a big game. I see many documentaries on them asking questions to Africans, their knowledge about the Atlantic slave trade, and they have no knowledge of the Atlantic slave trade. And they think we stupid or dumb. And I want people to understand that why everything they recorded, the Jews, Hitler, they recorded Hitler and the Jews being in ovens. They recorded the Jews in all of that terrible debts against the Jews. But why they did not record our people coming here to America? Why did they not record our people coming here to America? I'm telling you, America records everything. World War I, all the wars that they record, but why did they not record your ass on slave ships? Why did they not record one single person of color other than somebody writing, other than somebody painting an image of people of color on a slave ship? Make that make sense, family. Make that make sense. But we believe it because we just gullible, and a lot of our people are passive, and we believe anything that anybody, as long as they smiling in our face, as long as they giving you a little something, you gotta believe what they telling you. As long as the government giving you their welfare, their Section 8, their food stamps, as long as we kick out the man out the house, divide the balance of family. See, this shit was planned for many years. All this was planned. They always tell you to remember the Jews and what happened to the Jews because they have that recorded. But we are not recorded. It's easy to say that people of color were slaves, but just give us a little proof. I don't want to see nothing in writing. I want to see our faces on these boats. I don't want no writing from a colonizer who written that the slaves were black on these boats. I don't want a colonizer's opinion. I want facts. And that's what we got to live on, facts and not fiction. If you want to believe that you're a slave, that's your entitled. If you want to believe because you're fighting for reparations and you feel like people like us are stopping us from being able to get reparations because we believe we were here all along, or you feel like you're a Hebrew Israelite and I'm messing up what the Bible say and you mad with me, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn what you. I'm gonna speak the truth no matter what you talking about. Queen Elizabeth I, made of in England to kick out all these black Moors, Negroes, and blacks. Many are sent to America. A lot. You are absolutely correct. And a lot of people don't talk about how they took our people hostage, how they came and took our people and brought our people to England because they wanted to understand the land. They took some of our people also to Africa. That's why you see Liberia. Liberia is a new country, and they brought a lot of our people there. And I want people to understand that a lot of things were told in reverse. The Queen of England was a nasty, evil lady. And she didn't bring her best. She brought her worst. And we got to wake up, family, and stop being gullible. And understand that there are agendas to everything in this world. They have everything is a meaning to everything. And the reason why I can understand 12 years of slavery, I can understand 12 years of slavery, because you got to understand 12 years of slavery with the movie, it actually makes sense on how they would be able to colonize people, how they would take a free man, they would take a freeman who was on his job, and two white men would come up to him and say, hey man, this musician, why don't you come down to DC and play with me? And then you go down to DC, shout out to old son, and you come down to play, and then it's easy to snatch these people and and rename them and put them in slavery. It makes more sense than having a bunch of slaves come on slave ships looking like sardines, packed on slave ships with sardines, with women having their menstrual cycles and men shitting and pissing on a ship. It makes no damn sense that these people would take 3 months without the proper food, without the proper water, and believe that these people were chained for 3 months and they would survive such a trip. Shout out to Rainstorm early morning. And you just don't get it. Must we always be gullible, family? Must we always be gullible? They had us fighting to vote just to have the opportunity. As our ancestors, our grandmothers were fighting just to vote, damn it. And you're voting for something that you don't have, a party that did not invite you to vote. Laws that don't have nothing to do with you, but to set you up to fail. Shout out to Frank in the morning. Shout out to Frank. I want people to understand this. Colonization. It's a disease. It's a disease to colonize our people. and turn our people against each other. It's a disease. Tell you that you're African and tell another person this, and then because we got the blind leading the blind leading the blind. You get these preachers, you get these preachers that are preaching in religion to control the minds of our people. Non-profit organizations to keep you in your captivity. And you have to understand that they have agendas because they're getting paid to keep you down, to distract you. They're getting paid. They're living luxurious lives to sell out their fellow man. Some of these churches, some of the TD Jakes and all them millionaires got planes, for God's sake, and their neighborhoods in shambles. Some of these people got $1 million homes and they community is in shambles. Because you're not a nationality. You don't have a nationality. The African American does not exist. Within the United Nations, they do not accept African Americans. They in the United Nations do not know anything about African American. They do not know anything about being black. That if you read, no matter how many times we tell you to go into the dictionary and look at the definition of black, it does not exist. It means dead. It means ugly. It means dark is evil. And they look at white as being pure, clean, and nice. But you're wondering why your communities are not getting anything. In your communities, you're only getting statues in streets named after Martin Luther King and great leaders. You get Juneteenth, and all you motherfuckers out there celebrating because you got Juneteenth. Where the money at? Where the land? Where the money in land? We got enough holidays to get drunk on. Enough pagan holidays to get drunk on. Where is the money in our communities? Where is the 5 acres in the mule? Where is the land that needs to be restored to the original people of this land? But you caught up in a holiday. You want to celebrate a holiday. You want to get your drunk ass and barbecue, eat that barbecue. You want to eat your pork. But you don't have no land. Where your land at? You ain't lying. That's why I don't like to be called king, and that's why I don't like women to be called queen in Aborigine communities, because the definition of king and queen is, in my definition, is thieves. Kings and queens, how they got their royalties was stealing. Kings and queens, how they got their royalties was thieves. They stole to get what they got. They went to Africa. They went to other nations and stole their gold. So why would I want to be a king or a queen? Because I know that they are people that steal. Just like they steal our inventions. I want people to make that make sense. So if you want to call me a king, I'm cool with that. I know but we got to stop wanting to be so much like the Europeans and be more like us. I'd rather be chief. I'd rather you be chiefess. And we got to stop being more like them and be more like us. Because a chief is better than being a king. A chiefess is better than being a queen. A Indian is better than being a knight. It's better than that. And I want people to understand that. Because we are spiritual people. We are divine nature people. We're not thieves. We have pure hearts. That's why we always get deceived by people. People always trick us because we're too nice. We always got a big heart for everybody else but our own people. We have a big heart for everybody else but our own people. We won't even we will kick our own 17-year-olds out. We will kick our 18-year-olds out. We will kick our 21-year-old, 19-year-old children, 20 years old out the house. We won't even let them have time enough to grow. Us as parents, because we're conditioned that way. But let it be a total stranger. Oh, we gonna treat the stranger better than what we do our own seed. Because we've been conditioned that way. We've been conditioned to hurt our own people. Please subscribe to Peanut Nola 504. Remember to share my video. And I want to thank you. Remember, get up this morning. A self-motivation. Go take a walk. Go take a walk. Get up. Drink a big old glass of water and go take a walk. Hydrate the body. Self-motivation. Love yourself. Tanya Lloyd in the house. Tanya Lloyd in the house. Get up in the morning. Do some sit-ups. Do some push-ups. If you can't do that, get up and walk. If you can't run, get up and walk. Energize your body. Meditate. Talk to the trees. Touch the ground. Feel the earth. Because you are nature's people. You are nature's people. Move yourself around negative people. Separate people who are influencing negativity in your head. Separate from people that are going to keep you in your captivity. Because you are who your circle. When you let certain people in your circle, that energy can take you down. Some people, you're just going to have to let people go to be successful in your life. Sometimes you're just going to have to let some people go for you to succeed in your life. Because them people, you're wondering why you're not moving in the right direction. You're wondering why you're not evolving to the person that you should evolve, because you keep certain people around you that are holding you down. Their spirit is holding you down. Their energy is holding you down. Surround yourself around people that are just like you. Surround yourself around people that act like you, that laugh like you, that have fun like you, who think like you. And watch your life get better. Watch your life get better, family. Watch your life get better. Watch when you hang on to people while you up there moving in a certain direction and you're making money, and these people are around you draining you. They don't want a job. They don't want anything. They just want to drain off of you. Inner self. Self-motivation. You loving everybody but you. You loving everybody but you.